I definitely messed up in 2023, and I'm not going to sit here and be one of them, do the YouTuber thing like, guys, I messed up. I gotta do better. I always go to an American accent, but no, I definitely did mess up in 2023. So let's, reel it back a bit. So 2022 came along, and I was doing a load of stuff for Game Explain. I was, reviewing Elden Ring, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, just game after game after game after game. And I was really enjoying it. It was great. That's why I make this channel. I love talking about games. I love reviewing games. I've always loved it, and that's what I will continue to do. And I think I held the unofficial record for the most reviews by an individual on YouTube in 2022. Again, there's no way of verifying that, but I was definitely there. I was definitely up there, okay? And then in 2023, I was like, oh, let's actually go for this record. So I tried it, and I failed miserably. And the main reason why I failed is that there was a lot of games that I played, and I really enjoyed. And yes, there will always be a certain, when you're reviewing games, there will always be a certain sort of conflict of, oh, I want to play this game and I want to play this game, but this game is 60 hours long, this game's only 20 hours long, and then, 2 weeks after that 20-hour long game comes out, there's this game, and there's always this constant battle of what game I want to cover, and will I have enough time to cover it, because again, these games just take time to beat, and obviously videos take time to make. And last year, I tried to play too much. And I got to the stage where, Diablo 4, I put 35 hours into that game, and I didn't beat it. I loved it, I had a great time, but I just had to move on because the next game came out. And then Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and, I played 40, 50, maybe 60-ish hours of that game. Didn't beat it. Same thing with Starfield, same thing with a load of games. So while my plan this year is to still make a feck load of reviews of a feck load of games, cover them, stream them, do impressions, do reviews, maybe a couple of videos where I compile games into one list of like, oh, here's, great games that nobody was talking about or something. I still want to cover loads of games. I definitely have to take a bit more of a different approach, because definitely coming into the end of last year, I was feeling quite overwhelmed with just the amount of games that I had. There was days when I was getting sent 3-4 games in a day. And I'm not getting all the big games. I get some big games, code sent to me, but there's just so much VR games, and I'm getting an indie game, and then I'm getting this AAA game, getting this AA game. And while I love it, look, I'm never going to complain. I'm getting games, and I'm getting to review them. I mean, I can't, that's what I want to do. I love it, and I'm very appreciative of that, and I will never, ever stop enjoying doing that. Or maybe one day I will, but for right now, I'm loving it nearly 4 years in. But this year is going to be slightly different. I'm still going to review a lot of games, but I'm going to take more of a deliberate approach. So I think last year I fell into a rhythm of making videos that did the job. They got the job done, and I started to move into longer videos, which I think is what I'm going to do now. I want to do more or less videos, but higher quality, because here's my plan for the first month. I have my handy dandy calendar up here. I have it all laid out. So over the Christmas break, I had this absolute delusion of thinking I was going to be able to beat all the Yakuza games, and before Infinite Wealth came out. That never happened. I started playing Yakuza 1. I will have a video out on that later, but I gave up because I don't like the combat system. I've just realized I don't like the combat system of the action Yakuza games, and the problem is that, yeah, it's like, oh, well, I didn't like the combat in 0, and I didn't like the combat in Kiwami 1. But maybe the combat gets better in 2, and maybe the combat in 3 is bad, and then the combat in 4 is good. But I do not want to sit there for 7 games and battle with a combat system that I don't enjoy. So I've decided I'm just going to play Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I'm about 10-12 hours in, make a video on that, and then I might play Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which is an absolutely ridiculous title, and then play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I just have to relegate myself to realizing that A, I do not have the time to play 7 games that are all 20 plus hours long. And B, if I don't really enjoy the combat all that much, I'm not going to put myself through that. I just have to realize that, yes, if I play Yakuza Like a Dragon and maybe Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and then maybe watch a story recap of all the Kiryu stuff, and then go on to Infinite Wealth, I'm sure there's going to be stuff I'll miss, but I'll still enjoy them. So that's the first couple of weeks, or basically the whole of January. And then also Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is coming out. That game looks fantastic. I want to review that game too. And then that's sort of January. So there you can already see there's, you know, Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon is like, you know, minimum 30, 40 hour long game. But then I can, you know, sit down and do a long review, like a good, high quality, long video on it. And that's the plan going forward. And then, like, you know, we're looking here at February. So Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth comes out on the 26th. And then a couple of days later, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is a new action RPG in the Grand Blue Fantasy series that never really came to the West. I think it only really came to the West in a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus game, which is an Arc System Works fighting game, which, you know, isn't my style. And then a couple of days after that, you have Persona 3 Reloaded, which a game I want to play. Suicide Squad, which is another game I want to play. And then, you know, a couple of days after that, fucking Helldivers 2 comes out, which is a game that's right up my alley. I love Helldivers 1. I also want to make a video on Helldivers 1. And then the list just goes on and on. A load of games coming out. So, but I'm gonna, the whole point of this is I'm gonna be more deliberate this year. I'm gonna make better videos because I definitely hit a stride last year. And I think this year, there's so many great games coming out that I can take advantage of. I can make high quality videos on. And hopefully be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's my goal. I'm currently at 2,275. It's a big ask, but I think I've learned a couple of things, you know, and maybe I can start making some videos that people will click and watch and like and enjoy. I've also fixed my camera, so my camera actually looks good. So that's the plan this year. And yeah, so I just wanted to do just a quick update, get back into the swing of things and making videos, editing them, recording them, you know. This is just a good way to get back into the swing because I did take a break. In the background, I still have my little Christmas tree that will be taken down in a couple of days when I'm arsed, because I'm only, you know, I'm tired after Christmas. There was a lot of, well, not exactly late nights, but late nights for me because I'm like an old man and stuff. I also got a Mo Salah. The lucky Mo, he's going to be my lucky Mo Salah that's going to get me to 10,000 subscribers. And yes, there's going to be loads of high quality content. I might also, you know, like pick up the mic and start walking around and talking. Make the videos a bit not overly animated because I never want to be that sort of a person. But I do want to give a bit more entertainment factor to my video so people will watch them for longer. So yes, this is a short one. Just a way to get back in the swing of things. But expect loads of reviews. Yakuza Kiwami 1 is going to be the first one. It's not a review, it's a video on why I gave up on it because, yeah, I mean, you get the gist. I didn't like the combat. And then Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is a game that I fecking adore. It is the most bonkers game ever, and you can just see that the developers just had so much fun creating it. And I'm hoping I'm hoping Infinite Wealth fixes that because, or not fixes it, continues it, because that game is just absolutely bonkers. There's one part where you go into a room and there's a load of Yakuza guys dressed as babies getting fed bottles by women. I mean, whatever people like to do in their spare time, that's fine by me, but I was laughing. I haven't laughed so much until I started playing this game again. Fantastic. But yes, loads of reviews, loads of games, and I'm very excited because we have a new Yakuza game. We have a new 2D Metroidvania from the people that made Rayman Legends. We have Dragon's Dogma 2. We have Alone in the Dark, which potentially could be very good. We have, obviously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I cannot wait for that one. And then Helldivers 2. You know, I know it's a third-person shooter, but it's something different from Sony. It's not a over-the-shoulder cinematic experience. It's something more gameplay-focused, which I'm very excited for. What other games do we have? Oh, there's actually a fucking roguelike coming out in January called Go Mecha Ball, and it looks fantastic. It's an indie game. I'm going to try to cover more indie games as well because I definitely neglected them, and you realise by the end of the year that, oh my god, I missed a lot. Like, you realise, like, Dave the Diver, not an indie game by the way, but Dave the Diver, like these smaller games, you missed that. I missed Dredge. Well, I did eventually get to it, but I missed it. And there's just loads of games like that that I hope to cover this year. Potentially new consoles as well. I really want... I'm sorry I'm rambling here, but I mean, if you're watching because you like the channel. This isn't exactly, you know, this isn't a video that's going to blow everyone's socks off, but I'm not really because it's a lot of money, but I was contemplating buying a MetaQuest 3 just for Asgard's Wrath 2 because that game looks phenomenal. I've been playing loads of VR games. There will also be another like VR review compilation, and might I say this VR review compilation might be the best lot of games that I've played. I've had so much fun over Christmas playing them. So yes, that's the plan. Don't want to take up any more of your time. I managed to get to 10 minutes talking absolute shite. So yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Loads of videos. Goodbye. Subscribe, and, you know, if you really want to. It's up to you. I mean, I don't think me saying subscribe is ever going to make you subscribe, because you're either going to subscribe or you're not going to subscribe. And I think that's something that you have to do yourself. Goodbye.